It is my hope that you are enjoying your weekend. Welcome to Weekend Live here on KUTV. Today being Saturday, the 22nd day of April 2023. We have a lot lined up for you tonight, including this. President Ruto distances himself from 2022 general election talks with opposition. Azimio faults Catholic bishop stand on return of demos. Heavy floods derail transport and paralyze activities within Mombasa CBD. And 14 more bodies exhumed from controversial Pastor Mackenzie's land, bringing victims count to 21. Our sign language interpreter this evening is Sami Okello. My name is Joseph KEES. Remember, we're also live on Facebook as well as on YouTube at KUTV Kenya, and you can share with us your feedback on Twitter at KUTV_Kenya and at KEES Joseph Kenya. Now, President William Ruto has today toured Meru for a series of development projects where he has launched the tarmacking of Ole Kailo Mutuati Road in Igembe North and commissioned Kerua Bori Irrigation Development Project in Bori constituency. He was hosted by Governor Kawira Mwangaza together with other leaders including Agriculture CS Mithika Linturi, Senator Kadhure Murungi and several MPs from the region.
Addressing residents of Rare constituency in Igembe North while launching the tarmacking of the Ole Kairo Road, President Ruto saying that his administration is working to unlock the country's economic potential through the construction and expansion of road networks. He has seen that his government will cooperate with the Meru County government to improve the level 5 hospital in Meru to the necessary standards so that the locals do not have to travel to Nairobi to get specialized treatment.
Tutawaongezea pesa ya kuipanua na tutaongeza pesa ya equipment. Ndio hapa Meru matibabu yote ipatikane hapa Meru. Hakuna haja ya kwenda Nairobi, hakuna haja ya kwenda ng'ambo. Tutalete vifaa ya kutosha ili wananchi washughulikiwe na matibabu ama matatizo yao ya matibabu hapa nyumbani.
Responding to the issue of opening new Mira market issue raised by Meru County leaders, President Ruto noted that a law had already been enacted in the National Assembly to reduce levies posed to Mira farmers in order to enable them engage in their businesses effectively.
Na hiyo sheria itaondoa sasa ile malipo nyingi ambayo inaharibu bei ya miraa na kuweka duni ile pesa inafikia wakulima.
After launching the upgrade of the Ole Kairo Road, the president proceeded to Bore constituency, where he commissioned the Kiro Bore Irrigation Development Project. He added that the irrigation system in the area will not only increase the food production in the area, but also to the entire country. The president said that the irrigation system is the way to go as it will keep farmers active in matters concerning food production.
Lazima tubadilishe mwenendo wetu wa kilimo kutoka rain-fed agriculture mpaka irrigation agriculture ndio tuweze kuzalisha chakula, na hakuna dawa ingine ama njia ingine ya kuendesha mambo ya irrigation. Tutege maji tuweke kwa damu ndio tuweze kuyatumia kwa matumizi ya nyumbani.
The president promised to return to the region to inspect the project launched today to ensure that they are completed. James Murekimwenda, KUTV.
Now, President Ruto, during his visit to Meru, has faulted leaders engaging in premature politics just 7 months after a general election. The president has asked Kenyans to turn a deaf ear to such politicians, insisting that now is the time to deliver development projects to the electorate. President Ruto has promised to lower the prices of unga once again, saying that his government is doing every effort to reduce the high cost of living in the country.
President Ruto has assured Kenyans that his government is planning to lower the prices of flour for a second time by next week. The president has said this when he was launching development project in Meru County.
Tulikuta bei ya unga ikiwa 230. Saa hii ilifika by last week 170. By this week tukienda mbele mutaona bei tofauti tofauti. Tukielekea mbele 150 ikiteremuka.
The president has however slammed leaders who are supporting demonstrations by saying that the election issue tabled by the Azimio leaders is past its time and that all that is left for him is to provide development projects for Kenyans.
Haiwezekani ya kwamba baada ya uchaguzi miezi 6, 7, 8 bado tunataka kurudisha hao wananchi kwa mambo yetu ya viongozi. Mimi nawatangazia mimi sitakuwepo.
Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah, who accompanied President Ruto in Meru, assured him that the issue of the bipartisan talks had already begun as he had directed. Ichung'wah, however, reiterated that they will not accept the possibility of an handshake government.
Mambo ya nusu mkate, mambo ya handshake, mambo ya BBI, lakini tumesema tujadiliane vile rais atapata nafasi ya kuendesha kazi yake kwa nchi iliyo na amani.
Meru leaders led by Meru Governor Kawira Mwangaza rejected Azimio protests promising President Ruto that demos won't be staged in the county. The leaders said it will be a great betrayal for them if President Ruto engages Azimio la Umoja One coalition leader Raila Odinga in an handshake government.
Na tumesema hivi kama wa Meru, hakuna wakati itafika tuwekelee masufuria kwa kichwa. Hiyo sio tabia ya watu wa Meru. Kwa hivyo sisi rais tumesema hatuwekelei masufuria kwa kichwa, hatuendi kwa barabara kuandamana, tunataka ukuja mara nyingi utuletee maendeleo hapa Meru.
As the political tension of cheap unga politics intensifies in the country, Kenyans are now demanding the government to actualize the promise and provide the cheap unga. James Mureki Mwenda, KUTV.
Elsewhere, Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Party has faulted the position adopted by the Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops against their plan for a return to mass action and hardline rhetoric ahead of the bipartisan talks. Led by Chairperson Martin Kivuva of Mombasa Diocese, the bishops warned that Kenya would end up like Sudan and asked to be involved in the bipartisan negotiations. However, in a statement sent to newsrooms, Raila Odinga took issue with the bishops' characterization of their demos as violent, unconstitutional, and uncalled for, adding that the demand for opening of servers is guided by pursuit of truth, which is a core Christian doctrine. And Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and his wife Pastor Dorcas Rigathi have left the country for a 5-day visit to Botswana. While in the Southern Africa country, Gachagua will represent President William Ruto at the Forbes 30 Under 30 Africa Summit, which recognizes outstanding young innovative entrepreneurs in tech, the creatives, culture, sports, health and science, among other fields. The event runs from tomorrow until Wednesday next week and brings together the world's most elite young entrepreneurs and game changers from more than 40 countries. The Deputy President will meet and listen to Kenyans living in Botswana on the sidelines of the summit. And activity within Mombasa Central Business District was today paralyzed following a heavy downpour that left parts of the city flooded. The occurrence exposed a serious need for proper drainage, with several places including Kibarani area, railways, roundabouts, Kenya Ports Authority and Moi Avenue, where the floodwater was overwhelming. Locals now want their county government to set up proper drainage within the CBD.
A heavy downpour that fell last night and into today morning left Mombasa city soaked in floodwater, in line with Kenya Meteorological Department prediction of heavy downpour this April. Residents who had to put up with impassable roads and other related challenges want the county government to improve existing drainage systems while putting up new ones. In an earlier statement, the Meteorological Services Director David Gikungu said, and I quote, "Despite the expected depressed rains, isolated incidences of storms that could cause flash floods are still likely to occur." The World Meteorological Organization and key global climate centers have indicated that sea surface temperature anomalies across the equatorial Central Pacific Ocean are likely to return to neutral in the coming months, while El Nino development being the most likely outcome by June to August 2023. End of quote. Hundreds of Muslim worshippers who had planned to hold special Eid al-Fitr prayers at Ronald Ngala grounds in Mombasa were forced to change venue due to persistent heavy rains. The group, led by Mombasa Governor Abdul Swamad Nasir, had to hold prayers at Memoni Mosque, where he called on leaders to embrace peace. Mr. Abdul Swamad Nasir said that he has directed the relevant department to work on cleaning all blocked water lines to reduce the flooding. Commuters using the Mombasa-Changamwe highway were stranded after the road was cut off by heavy flooding, while several people missed morning flights in the standard gauge railway SGR passenger train, since that is the only road used to access Moi International Airport and the Miritini SGR terminus. In Likoni, more than 10 families were left homeless after their houses were swept away by the floods. Njama Gikomo, KUTV.
Now, moving on, homicide detectives from the Directorate of Criminal Investigations have exhumed 14 more bodies on Pastor Paul Mackenzie's land in Shakahola, Kilifi County, as the search for missing church members entered its second day. The members are believed to have been fasting to heaven. Pastor Paul Mackenzie has reportedly staged a hunger strike while in prison and insists that he is fasting and praying. The total number of church members exhumed so far stands at 21.
4 days after the arrest of Pastor Paul Mackenzie, who has been termed by many a cult leader, the supposed man of God has staged a hunger strike while in police custody in the name of fasting and prayers. This even as detectives entered the second day of exhuming bodies believed to belong to members of his congregation who fell victim to the preacher's extreme teaching that encouraged faithfuls to fast to their deaths so that they may see Jesus. 14 more bodies have been exhumed today in the ongoing exercise by detectives to recover the remains of the cult victims. DCI detectives had earlier on marked 32 sites suspected to host mass graves on land belonging to Pastor Paul Mackenzie in Shakahola, Kilifi County. On Friday, detectives recovered 7 bodies of 5 children and 2 women after exhuming 4 of the marked graves. The discoveries come as authorities fear that the number of dead victims could be more as they continue finding more than one body in each of the marked grave sites. News of Pastor Mackenzie's extreme teachings surfaced in late March this year following the death of 2 children in their mother's custody. It is believed that the mother was acting based on the ill advice of the pastor. Following the incidents, the disgraced pastor was arrested, charged, and later on released on a 10,000 police bond. Pastor Mackenzie is now in police custody pending investigations. Yvonne Kemuma, KU TV.
And that story by Yvonne Kemuma takes us on our first break of the night. We still have plenty more ahead. Weekend Live resumes shortly. Stay with us.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audiovisual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
To the Church O'Clock Show. I'm your host, Esther Becky.
And my name is DJ Terror.
We start you off with a word of prayer and get you started with a live transformational worship experience. And have our minds renewed by the word of God on the word segment.
And not forgetting new music za hii wiki, yani ndakuwa bado nawapatia pale wasanii wamekuwa kiwakali. So make sure manzo tune in because zitakuwa zina flow pia pale mixes kwa wingi, yani zitakuwa zina come through, and pia performance yani from our gospel artist hapa on Gospel Art
from 7 to
10 a.m. only on KUTV.
Welcome back to Weekend Live. Now, police in Kiambu County have pointed an accusing finger at the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, or DPP, terming it as the weakest link in the fight against illicit drug and substances abuse. Kiambu County Police Commander Paminas Kioi, who was speaking after his officers nabbed bang valued at close to 1 million shillings, called for synergy between all stakeholders in the criminal justice system to end drug abuse.
The war against drug and substance abuse has continued in earnest within the vast Mount Kenya region as authorities implement orders by Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua aimed at containing drug abuse in the region. Police in Kiambu County today netted bang an illicit brew worth 915,000 and arrested over 30 suspects in Thika sub-county. Kiambu County Police Commander Paminas Kioi blamed the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions for setbacks in fighting drug abuse.
Wengine wanaenda pale wanaachiliwa hata anjate kiburi inakuwa change sheet itakuwa registered, na hiyo ndio vitu nakwambia tumecomplain.
Kioi says despite police tirelessly doing their job of arresting and arraigning suspect in court, they feel demotivated when these suspects are released and later come to intimidate the arresting officers.
In total, it's worth 915,000 Kenya shillings, all the recovery which has been done by Thika sub-county.
Kioi emphasizes that he will not allow anybody to intimidate his officers, warning that any member of public intimidating officers for doing their job will be met with full force of the law.
Kubali mwananchi yote kuintimidate my officers. Wacha officers wafanye kazi. Jana iko watu wameenda pale Ruiro wakapiga officers yangu mawe wakati walikuwa nakamata hizo kesi za pombe. Nimesema hiyo mtu hakuna hata fungua hiyo mba. Tutamkamata mpaka yeye mwenyewe inue mkono.
Kioi says some criminals walk away easily due to leniency of the ODPP, which he accused of not bringing to the attention of the court criminals' records of suspects, some whom have previous convictions.
Shinda mali iko ni watu wanapoa fines kidogo. Hiyo ndio one of the weakest thing.
Kioi promises expensive bails, hefty fines and longer prison terms for repeat offenders to deter such criminals.
We work as a team, that is on the side of the ODPP office, the judiciary, and we as a National Police Service and Lengao. That is the only way we are going to clear this menace. But if we are lenient on these guys, they continue destroying.
Auma Evans for KUTV, Nairobi.
And now to some technology-related news. Kenya is using the launch of its first operational observation satellite to promote space education and science through space clubs in schools. Kenya launched an operational 3U nanosatellite last Saturday aboard the SpaceX Falcon 4 base in the United States.
The satellite images that we're seeing over here, it's that right now there's a lot of fragmented land.
Students at St. Scholastica Catholic School in Nairobi explore space technology applications. The learners are members of the school Space Science Club, an extension of an educational program established by Kenya's Space Agency to promote space education. The students were asked to study their local town.
So the information that the satellite images are telling us between
13-year-old Ryan Gauna says participating in this club has sparked his interest in engineering.
Electrical engineering, when it comes to setting up the satellites, or maybe even rockets. So that, these are now baby steps, especially from the nanotech that was released in 2018. So from that, I really want to try and do something bigger than what's happening today.
3, 2, 1, ignition.
Kenya's Taifa 1 satellite, which means Nation 1 in Swahili, is the first operational satellite the country has launched this year aboard the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket in the US state of California. In 2018, Kenya stepped into space with the launch of its first nano-satellite called CubeSat. Authorities with Kenya Space Agency say they are reaching out to young students to encourage them to consider a future in the space technology.
The conversation that has been happening within the education sector is that many people are not taking science or technology-related subjects, and these are the subject that feeds into the space sector. And we are keen to have them early enough to understand the potential and the opportunities that the sector presents for them.
At least 30 schools have enrolled in the outreach programs, and the agency says it plans to add space technology learning to more school curricula.
With the science and technology, there is investment that has been done in that curriculum for coding. We now have coding in grade 4, 5, 6, and now in grade 7, which is the junior secondary, they have come up with computer studies as an optional subject.
The observation satellite Taifa 1 will be used to provide data on agriculture and food security, among other areas. It was designed and developed by Kenyan engineers like Maureen Wanjiru.
It is exciting and being part of innovative and creative ideas that push, that make an impact in our country in terms of climate change, in terms of agriculture, forestry.
entirely funded by the Kenyan government, the Taifa 1 satellite was manufactured and tested in collaboration with a Bulgarian aerospace manufacturer. The launch marks the latest push by African nations to boost space innovation and development. Victoria Amunga for VOA News, Nairobi.
And we switch on gears, where the situation in Sudan remains tense even as search for a truce between Sudan's military and paramilitary rapid support forces continues. Several residents of Khartoum were seen earlier in the week dragging their suitcases toward vans to escape the capital, where clashes have continued for the 7th day while electricity and water were cut. Some Khartoum residents are leaving for states nearby where fighting has not been reported.
As rival military factions continue fighting, parts of Sudan's capital city of Khartoum are on fire. Most residents are sheltering in place, while those who can flee the city are doing so. Anas Mohammed, a student from White Nile State in the south, is leaving. He says that his neighbor was shot and bullets were flying into his home, forcing him to run.
There is no safe place in the capital now, so we are forced to leave. We wish peace and safety for those who are still going to stay in Khartoum and that no harm will happen to them. We pray for them, but I think it is better for them to leave for their safety.
The fighting in Sudan stems from a 2019 coup that ousted former leader Omar al-Bashir. At the center of that coup were two Sudanese military groups, one led by General Abdel Fattah Burhan and the other by General Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, known as Hemeti, head of the paramilitary rapid support forces. The two led another coup in 2021, ousting the democratically elected prime minister and suspending the constitution. Since then, promises for a peaceful transition to a civilian government have been overshadowed by tensions between the two over who would lead a consolidated military. Those tensions led to a violence that erupted earlier this month.
They had been playing us as though they were partners in trying to build a transition, when in fact they were doing everything they could to thwart the transition.
The former Sudanese ambassador to the U.S. says the generals should prioritize the people they are serving.
Stop the war, protect civilians, and provide the necessary humanitarian assistance. And then, of course, try to put pressure on the belligerents to accept the return to a normal state. What for us means a civilian government.
In the meantime, residents seek safety as many face power outages and dwindling water and food supplies.
We are looking for a safe place to shelter us in the absence of water and food in the difficult situations we are currently living in. We ask God to be kind to us.
Some civilians are desperate for any news about the cause of the fighting and prospects for peace.
From the beginning of these events, we as civilians did not know what to do. We do not know the truth about the party that controls matters.
And appeals for help are coming from some Khartoum residents who fled other conflicts in the region, such as Rosa Matamma from Ethiopia, who has lived in Sudan for 7 years.
Now we stay without electric, without water, without bread, without anything. So we need somebody to help us, please. We can't help, yani. Nobody can help us. You know, my children now, they didn't drink, they don't eat anything.
For Said Ahmed in Khartoum, Idrissa Fallen, Carol Van Dam in Washington. Salam Solomon, VOA News.
All right, and we take another short break here on Weekend Live. Coming back, we will be taking a look at what is happening in the world of sports. Weekend Live resumes shortly. Stay with us.
Da, maisha ni haya hivi, mwanaume ali. Da, sielewi yani hata neno moja. Yani tunasikia tu maboko likolo. Yani ukiniangalia tu huyu mwamba huyu anafiti sehemu fulani. Wewe ni wewe inakaa. Without your love, I can't move on. Yo, that's your boy Rhino the Don. Keep watching and listening to KUTV.
possessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more, only on Law Matters.
Technology, science, innovation, ICT and research. These are the ingredients upon which the solutions to the 21st century problems are founded. In a world that is rapidly changing, it's all hands on deck to ensure a balance in all fields of life. Women, young and old, are also in the front line, breaking the glass ceiling, becoming thought leaders in the larger tech space. Not forgetting other societies marginalized. And when the tech Avengers come together, we inch closer to a much safer, efficient, and sustainable world. What we view as a norm in today's advanced world was just an idea, and for nostalgic reasons, we trace back to the iconic days to bring you the retro tech. On Tech Innovation Show, we encapsulate all the pillars of the fourth industrial revolution, decoded in a language, all for one for all. Every Monday at 8:30 as we push the mantra, keep learning something new each and every day. Only on KUTV, a new experience.
Welcome back to Weekend Live. Let's get sporty. Now, the Under-20 Borders Cup tournament made its fourth appearance today in Nairobi at the Nyayo National Stadium. Zimbabwe made light work of victory of Ivory Coast after humiliating them 55-0, while Kenya won their first match when they locked horns with Uganda. The Borders Cup tournament continues until the 30th of April. The winner of the tournament will have the ultimate ticket of this year's World Rugby Junior Trophy tournament, which will also take place in Nairobi in July this year. And the Football Kenya Federation FKF Premier League was in action today with 6 matches on the card. Nairobi City Stars kicked off the action after they beat Kariobangi Sharks 2-1 and ensured safety from the relegation zone, while defending champions Tusker FC lost to Nzoia Sugar by a solitary goal, as record champions Gor Mahia moved to top spot after beating Police FC 1-0. Gor led the table with 56 points, 2 points above Tusker FC, while Nzoia Sugar and KCB complete the top 4 with 51 and 48 points respectively.
Najibu hapa. Sijui wameambiwa nini na kocha wao Nicholas Mayoti. Wakati wanacheza visivyo hapa Dennis Walo.
And with sports done, we say news done. Thank you so much for being a part of the broadcast this evening. Our sign language interpreter has been Samuel Kelo. My name is Joseph Kess. Until we meet next time, enjoy the rest of your weekend.